into contention. The halfbacks very strong, and of course that wonderful pack of forwards, all but
an interesting lineup, particularly amongst the backs. Luke Smith has played at standoff quite a bit this season, but Greg Miller has made the place his own since, and Luke Smith in it.
An all-dispatch front row. Willie Meyer, Vavut Ruud and Frans Erasmus all play for the Dispatch Club. Of course, Jacob Kirsten injured in the game against Western Province. Lots of rain over the last couple of days in Johannesburg. The field is lush and it'll be a little bit slippery, and there's even a possibility of rain during the game. Henny LaRue there. Slight injury scare with him, but he's certainly playing. And there is Gavin Johnson at fullback. Pathetically small crowd. Hardly 5,000 people in this magnificent stadium. And for a team that's done so well, that doesn't really indicate great support for Transvaal.
There's Rudolf Stroili, the number 8 for Transvaal, another man who might just be amongst the names that are announced at Kings Park this evening to go to Argentina. 30 years old, you see, he's no spring chicken, played 6 or 7 seasons for Northerns before he came here to Transvaal. And there's the other man, Gavin Johnson. Tall and rangy, has played at standoff and at fullback, probably going as a utility back as much as anything,
if selected. And talking to Kitch Christie before the game, he said that Gavin Johnson, people have this perception that he's not quick. In fact, one of the fastest and fittest members of the Transvaal squad. New laws in operation regarding dirty play. No cooler in operation. If you're sent off, an automatic 1-month suspension. And the referees have been told to accept no back chat. And that's certainly not before time, those guidelines.
Also interesting, John, that the touch judges now have full power to send a man off if they see a dirty incident.
Poor kick-off from Henny LaRue, too far. Iman. Left-footed kick by Miller, it's a beauty. We'll keep an eye on striker Botha at the front. He's replacing Adri Geldenes, who was left out of the side because he hasn't been winning enough line-out ball.
Ironically, because Geldenhuys was reckoned to be one of the best line-out men in the country.
Clean take by Kubus Visa. What a magnificent season he's had.
Vavut Ruud, the hooker there, he was the man who was penalised for offside, went far too quickly.
Dirks slicing his kick. Chris Dirks has played in all 25 games for Transvaal this season. Tremendous consistency. A couple of early games as a substitute, but he's the only player who's represented the province in every game. Stradum can't hold.
Knock forward. Knock forward. Take down. Here's the mark. Here's the mark. Hold it. Hold it. That's the mark. Hold it. Don't push. Don't push.
Mostert to Himan. Looks for the gap. He's run into trouble though. And does well to make the ball available. Good body position by Davi Himan. Miller this time using his right foot. Long kick by Peter Hendricks. And that's Marnie van Veeren, but that kick by Hendricks gained a lot of ground. And Transvaal on the attack for the first time. Referee Neville Heilbron, and he's had some problems with indiscipline in games in the past. Willie Schmidt. Himan takes the knock. Confident start by Davi Himan. Johnson looks to run. Changes his mind. That's not gone far enough. Dirks fumbles. Support from Schmidt. He fumbles. Currie. Support from Pienaar. Heavily tackled, but Eastern Province offside. And Rue gets things going quickly. Stroily into MacDonald. No, it's not coming out of there. So important to fall in the correct position immediately, and you could see the ball got isolated, and MacDonald couldn't get it underneath his body.
Ian MacDonald, one of the men who went to Australia, who might just miss out on the trip to Argentina if Rudolf Stroily is given the nod. Of course, Dion Lotter not playing for Transvaal today. Rudolf Stroily has taken his place in the side. Talking to Kitch Christie, he said they're looking towards the Currie Cup final, and Stroily is the more powerful man of the two.
Poor pass from Himan. Miller recovers well. Dangerous stuff from Eastern Province. Schmidt on the charge. And that was well played by Luke Smith, recovering after Eastern Province messed around a little bit and chipping forward and chasing up himself. The man who won't be going to Argentina, Willie Schmidt.
And interesting to know who is going alongside John Owen.
Cooper's visa tidies. Transvaal start the rolling maul. Well, they've used this to tremendous effect this year. Hasn't worked this time. And ball retention, very much the aspect that Kitch Christie is working on with the Transvaal team. That's the one area he's not happy with. Ball retention and discipline.
A few studs going wild here. Look at that. Poor old Franz Erasmus getting a few stud marks down the back for his pains.
Stroily taps. Big Stradum on the charge. Henny LaRue can't take it. Himan. Oh, just look at Marnie van Vieren. Well, the electricity that we picked up earlier in the season obviously still here with this man. He really is an exciting player.
Just seemed to be there yards quicker than everybody else, and if that kick had stayed in touch, or rather stayed in play, might have seen a try there. Neville Heilbron, of course, who lasted 20 minutes last time we saw him. Let's hope he does the full game this time.
Striker Burta getting in front of Kubasvisa. So a rather nervous beginning by Transvaal, a lot of handling mistakes. I imagine that ball's a little bit slippery.
And I think possibly still suffering from that shock loss last Saturday to Western Province, where apparently they were well beaten.
Striker Burta. So he's making his presence felt at the front of the line out. Heinrich Fulz, that's a heavy tackle from Stroily. EP have it. Portkita. And they've retained it. Himan to Mostert. Falls well. Franz Erasmus, the crowd will love this. This is good play by Eastern Province. Have they got men over? Running out of space. And the touch judge's flag goes up. So Eastern Province showing why they've qualified for the Super 10. They really have had a very good season.
And they kept the ball available. That was what you were talking about from Transvaal, but that was an exceptional aspect of the game. There's one man who surely will be going to Argentina, Hannes Stradum.
That's why.
That was a lovely camera angle, wasn't it, John?
It was indeed. A couple of sliced kicks. And so important to get those kicks away with some distance. Pressure still on Transvaal. A lovely jump by Hannes Stradum. Maybe a little bit of support, but got away with it. Beaten this time by big Nico Meyer. Iman loves that little chip, doesn't he? Lost out this time. Pienaar. Support from Kubas Visa. Knocks a man out of the way. McDonald. Transvaal need this ball quickly. No. They're moving it. Johnson, lob pass to Peter Hendricks. Brushes off a tackle, takes a late tackle. I'm sure the referee will penalise that. And he does.
Peter Hendricks, nice to see him without the protective headgear now. Of course, he had that problem, a broken cheekbone. He played in headgear. Here he is, brushing off a man. And then that late tackle, no doubt about that. That really was well late.
And of course, the referee will offer Transvaal the penalty where the late tackle took place or where the ball lands. And they'll opt for the latter. And a relatively short kick at goal for Gavin Johnson. Started badly with the boot against Western Province, completely mishit his first two kicks and then never missed again.
Rudolph Stroley there is already worked up a sweat.
First blood to Transvaal, lovely kick by Gavin Johnson. Interesting way of kicking. He drops that left shoulder as he comes in his run-up, almost like a sighter, as though he's sighting the line and kicks along that line. He's got quite a curious action.
And like all successful kickers, he never seems to be trying to hit the ball too.
Luke Smith restarts. My goodness, that's a high one.
Timmer. Zo, voor. Vandaag, recht aan stoot. Hold it. Recht aan stoot. Je gaat tellen op. Recht aan stoot. Hold it. Come,
You can see Eastern Province trying to put a lot of pressure on that Transvaal 8.
Okay.
It's a big front row, isn't it?
I was just thinking the very same thing. Verwoerd looks like a prop, doesn't he?
Stay back. Go!
Good support play from Currie. And just look at the way Henny Leroux takes that ball flat, right on the advantage line.
Ian McDonald penalised for not releasing with the ball on the ground.
And I'm sure Luke Smith will have a go. Just look at the way Henny Leroux explodes into that ball. Tremendous to see a fly half doing that. And interesting the number of scribes who are calling for his switch to the centre. I think that would be daft. Such a dangerous fly half.
I quite agree. It really has amazed me, some of the things that have been said about Henny LaRue. They say he can't kick. I disagree. Well, this kick is from inside Eastern Province's half.
You can see he's one of the bucket and spade brigade rather than the rubber tee.
Well, it is summer after all.
Long kick, and remember the underfoot conditions, a little bit soft. Strikes it well though. That's a wonderful kick. Lovely kick from Luke Smith. 3-all, and what a beautiful kick. Stroked the ball, and that cleared the crossbar with some room to spare.
The sun coming out and no real wind to speak of, so pretty nice kicking conditions. And as you can see, Ellis Park's had a lot of rugby this year, but it looks wonderful.
False. Potgieter, men over. And Muller takes the safe option.
Greg Miller, who spent some time in Australia this season, didn't think he was going to make it into the standoff slot, but when he came back, there was a space and he's made it his own.
Husky!
That's Barley Swat. You could see Frans Erasmus fell very heavily on top of Barley Swat.
There's a lot to fall heavily as well, isn't there? Let's see if we can see it here. And indeed, Frans Erasmus went straight across and clobbered his man and then followed him with the elbow.
Well, it looks like the ref has ordered a scrum. That looked like a penalty against Frans Erasmus. Should have been a penalty against Frans Erasmus.
Come on.
This time Transvaal putting the pressure on.
Kom ons stoot voor die tyd. Wacht eerst.
The theory being that the hooker striking for the ball doesn't push, so an 8-man shove is 8 against 7. Lovely kick by Miller. And we've seen him using both feet well. Looks a very polished performer, as young Greg Miller. And of course Henny LaRue, his opposite number, played many a fine game for Eastern Province before he went on the great trek north. Kubas Visa really getting up that time. And that's a huge kick from Henny LaRue. We commented that the kickers have miscued a couple out of their hands, but that one was beautiful.
There is big Cobus Visa.
And many feel he's under pressure. He feels it as well, talking to him before the game. He said he believes that there are a number of people being pushed for his position, but they're going to have to work to get it.
Mark Andrews at Natal, apparently the front of the list.
Mostert found a gap. Duplessis just couldn't take the pass. That's Willie Mayer. And Eastern Province playing the better rugby at this stage. Human goes for the half gap. Oh, just look at him fighting for the ball. Being driven backwards by Roux though. And Kubas Visa penalised.
Well, here is Darby Human, and look at him, he's got Johan Roux and Chris Dirks on him, going backwards. He's a confrontational scrum half. People might remember him in the club championships at the beginning of the season playing for Dispatch. He scored a couple of outstanding tries in the final due to that eye for the half break. He's a good little player.
Luke Smith, former Blue Bull. Something clinical about statistics. 1 from 1 doesn't really do justice to a 60-yard goal, does it? 1.5 from 1 maybe would have been better. While Luke Smith is building his castle, Barry Pinnock, the number 8, has been receiving some attention, but he's still on the field. And there's the angle, nice shot of the angle. A far shorter kick, but we get a lovely look at it. Oh, struck it beautifully. Another superb kick. Well, what a lovely shot, and you could see all the way that he stroked it, as you said, Andy. No effort into that, straight as a die. And deservedly, Eastern Province ahead 6-3.
Yes, I quite agree. Transvaal don't look like the side who won the Super 10 championship, and they haven't done so for a few weeks now.
Back down.
And there's a bad mistake to give the initiative away from a kick-off.
Come here, Rican.
That's poor rugby from Transvaal. Kenny LaRue. And you might just see the halfbacks try and punish this with a long touch finder.
Op, rechts goed, hè? Gaat het? Zie je? Kom. Nee, het is geslokt, joh. Nee, kom, oké. Rechts goed. Hold it, break up.
And there's something going on in that front row, Andy.
I think that incident we saw in the line-out between Bally's-Fart and Frans Erasmus has started up front here.
Kom, Transvaal, wait.
Delaying the put-in.
Ja, te lang.
No delay from Rue. Pina cuts inside and takes the tackle. Maybe he should have given it.
No. No.
Well, Johan Rue fumbled a bit there. Good refereeing. Certainly wasn't offside.
Come on.
Johan Rue not wearing the knee brace for once.
Hold it.
Another man who's perhaps hoping that his name might be amongst the 26 announced tonight. But I must say, he's not really playing as well as he has done earlier in the season.
And normally you'd expect this to blow up into a little bout of fisticuffs, but I wonder will the new interpretation cool that a bit. Back row move from Transvaal. Watch Henny LaRue. There he comes. No, it's not. It's Hendricks. Transvaal used that move so well, injecting pace. Overlap. Here goes Johnson. Oh, lovely play by Johnson. What a super try from Gavin Johnson. Timing superb, and didn't that show confidence? He really should have given it, and he knows that he should have given it.
Pace that you were talking about before the game began was really shown here. Johnson saw the half gap, look at the stumble from his opposite number, and then the confidence to round the fullback and go over. People are saying that's why he should go to Argentina, because he hasn't played much provincial rugby. What he has played has been successful, and he does not lack confidence, as we can see from this.
And what a lovely pass from Johan Rue to set it up. And there you are, inside out. And Luke Smith didn't have a sniff. And played some club rugby in Ireland a couple of seasons ago. Maybe that's where he learnt that skill. I doubt it. And that's his 12th try of the season in only 15 games. Well, Frans Erasmus doesn't look too happy about it. Looks like he's picked up a few pounds in the latter stage of the season. We commented that he was looking quite sylph-like earlier on.
Obviously the after-match party is pretty good at Boat Erasmus.
Another lovely start from Luke Smith. That's a huge kick. Rue runs into a hard tackle. McDonald, straight through. Needs support, and he's got it from Schmidt. Dirks. Transvaal arriving in numbers. And Uli Schmidt again trampling, allowed to get away with it. Schmidt should have been penalised there. I know I'm sounding like a soft back.
Let's have a look at the breakdown. This is that lovely burst from McDonald, and a nice catch by Uli Schmidt. The hands remain as good as ever. And Chris Dirks playing amongst the forwards here. Perhaps we won't see it from this angle. You can see Uli right at the back, and we won't really see the offence.
And Dirks hasn't found touch. That's a mistake, and he knows it. Of course, nowadays his side would have had the throw-in had he found touch. Went for too much distance.
He's hardly kicked the ball straight all afternoon, is he?
Luke Smith is striking the ball beautifully today. Another lovely restart. Mayer tidies. Iman, sensible kick. Offside.
Good refereeing from Neville Heilbrunn. He saw Francois Pienaar offside in that ruck, allowed Derby Humans kick and allowed Eastern Province to have a go at some sort of advantage. It didn't accrue, so he brought them back.
Neville Heilbrunn's having a good game. We commented when he had a rather troubled game earlier in the season that he seemed to lack a little bit of authority, but he doesn't seem to lack that now. He's taking no nonsense and doing a good job. Heinrich Rogers. And that's big striker Buerta just opposite, and he's been prominent early on. Transvaal dominating in the lineouts. Nico Meyer. Crooked throw. Transvaal will take the scrum.
That was a real mess, that line out. A little bit of a dummy throw from Bert Root. All of the Transvaal players went across the line, running allowed it to continue.
That's a lovely box kick from Roux. Dropping outside the 22. Luke Smith takes it but runs into Francois Pienaar.
Ja, hy is dood daar, so hy gaan ons gaan oor mekaar hardloop en trap. Ja. As julle vat hom daarvan af hiernatoe. Ja, dit is van die skop af onmiddellik uit. Hy daarvan af hardloop tot hierso toe Transvaal bal. Dis goed. Wat aan mekaar.
Rock solid scrum. Chris Dirks is hovering in midfield. It's a dummy though. Hendricks. Can he get there? Ooh, and Johnson driven back. That is terrific defence by Eastern Province. My goodness, that looked like a certain try. Wasn't that superb tackling? And that was Heinrich Fultz who was in there with Barry Pinnock. It was lovely moving by Transvaal, and interestingly, well, there's the pass to Peter Hendricks. He went for it. Outside, inside, through the tackle. He does well to make this available. Just look at that tackling by Mani van Vieren and Heinrich Fultz. Tremendous defence. This is turning into quite a good game, Andy.
First real attacking line out of the match. But of course Transvaal will have to poach the ball.
More desperate defence.
Het wordt hier zo. Terug. Hij was aanslaan.
Andy LaRue showing how brave he is and how many fly halves will go for the gap so close.
There's the number 6, Cecil Duplessis, playing his first game for Eastern Province, and he looks as if he's just had a school to me.
Yeah, he does look very young, doesn't he? You see him on the flank.
That's more trouble in the front row, John, and finally it's been penalised.
Let's see if there's a set move here. Keep an eye on big Cobus Visa. We've seen him being used as the hitman. It's Stroily. LaRue. Transvaal inching forward. Rolling more. And if they have this under control, we could see a try. Yep. There we go. Again, the air of inevitability about that. It's only Schmidt by the looks of it. Or perhaps Rudolf Stroily. I'm not quite sure who scored. Let's have a look.
Classic instance of the try really having to be given to almost the entire pack. That was excellent teamwork. That's Rudolf Stroily. We'll see from the slow-mo whether it was he or Uli who had the ball, hands on the ball at the last minute. And here's Johan Roux at the back directing things. Ian McDonald taking it forward. You'll see a dummy move from Cobus Visa, or you would have done. And we still can't see.
But you can clearly see how a wall of phalanx of Transvaal players in front of the ball. Surely they should be offside. Not according to the current interpretations. And that was easy for Johnson. Let's have a look at it from another angle. Here it looks like Uli Schmidt. Cobus Visa trying to get out of there. And I think it's Stroily. I think I can see Stroily's hands there. Back live. Cobus Visa exploding through that ball. Late tackle, Barry, in fact it's a trip, Barry Pinnock tripping Henny LaRue, I think.
See if we can pick it up. There's the high kick. Oh, where's the trip? Here we go. Oh, lovely camera work there.
Now, if it was a deliberate trip, it would be a penalty. So I think the referee has said we'll give a scrum there.
Nummer 3 stoot skeef in. Strafkop. Transvaal. Nummer 3.
That's Heinrich Rogers penalised, not scrumming straight. Heeman. Oh, that's quick thinking by Davy Heeman. What a lovely tackle by MacDonald. But there's a liveliness about Davy Heeman which is, I don't know, very enjoyable to watch.
Very, very different scrum half from Garth Wright, the man he's replacing. Garth Moore, a Quicksilver type, who likes to feed his outsides, but Human loves to go for it. Uli Schmidt, the man there at the end, who pushed him into touch.
Tidied by Bali Swart. LaRue inside to Dirks. Not a high tackle, it's a good tackle from Heeman. Transvaal, they have an overlap. Johnson in and out again. This time he's held. But Peter Hendricks couldn't hold it. Again, Gavin Johnson, the man being used to inject pace and danger.
It's been an eye-catching display from Gavin Johnson today, hasn't it? He moves deceptively light on his feet for a big man.
And well held by Luke Smith.
Set it up, Dobby, set it up.
Muller, almost straight through. And once again, referee Halbrand playing advantage before bringing them back for the penalty. There he is, Davy Heeman from Dispatch. And one wonders, you mentioned the difference between Garth Wright and himself, if this is the new brand of scrum half. The orchestrator, maybe a thing of the past. Counter-attack from Transvaal, lovely passing. Here goes Dirks. Currie inside to Johnson. Heinrich Fulls against his former teammates. Men over, will they use it? And Miller's kick. Not in. It is in. And that was a Luke Smith and Peter Hendricks. And Greg Miller wants to start things quickly. A nice manufactured kick by Miller. He was outside the 22, had to make it bounce. But lovely passing and straightening by Transvaal. And look at this running off the ball by Bernard Fourie. And Mani van Veeren just blocking the last pass. Pinnock obstructed. Referee says play on. That's lucky for Transvaal. Rolling Maul away. Again Kubasvisa. He adds so much bulk to those situations. No back chat. Look at Heeman again. Here he goes. Oh, tremendous run. An enormous clearance kick by Transvaal. And that's Greg Miller, who took a heavy knock. But Davy Heeman causing the trouble. Goodness. And that was Barley Swart, I think, who landed on top of him.
Looked like it might have been a knee in the kidneys. Painful, but I don't think there was an intent there.
And that was Uli Smith made the clearing kick. Fully 50 metres. Stroily through, but it's a knock-on.
Tweede keer vat aanslaan hier op je bom. Rustig.
Tony Marco is on the right wing. Let's see if Davy Heeman looks to set him away. No. Back row move. Oh, what a lovely pass. Van Veeren. Duplessis just couldn't take the pass.
Mani van Veeren, every time he gets the ball, he seems dangerous. I'm just amazed that nobody has really noticed him.
His name doesn't figure when they talk about potential internationals. What a lovely tackle by Francois Pienaar as well. And there he is, Mani van Veeren.
So just 4 minutes left in the first half. Transvaal leading by dint of scoring 2 tries, 17-6 they lead. But it's been a closer game than that, really.
Poor tapping to Roux. Schmidt tidies. Donald digs it out. Transvaal looking to run. Johnson, Hendricks twisting through one tackle, runs into another one from Martin Mostert. As with Mani van Veeren, every time Peter Hendricks gets the ball, there's a buzz of electricity.
I think those few weeks he had out with the broken cheek have just revitalised Peter Hendricks a bit. He looks a bit fresher than the rest of the backs.
Dirk strikes that one beautifully. Yeah, he's been a little bit unlucky, of course, played a number of tests for South Africa, and I don't think received a pass in either of the tests he played. Really never got a chance to show his speed. Shortened line out from Transvaal. To a throw. Stroily recovers but knocks on. And again, ref plays advantage. Miller's had a good game.
Actually look a sparky pair of halfbacks, really. Human perhaps taking a little bit too much on his own, but with a few games together, you'd have imagined that they would develop a relationship that could be quite exciting.
Donald gets there first, Visa. Good body position. Chip from LaRue. Oh, well covered by Heinrich Fulz. Takes a hard tackle. Dirks, Johnson can't hold it. And a knock on. And Heinrich Fulz defensively is having a terrific game, playing against his former teammates.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it.
Back row move again, Heeman. Certainly not afraid to get stuck in. Now, Heeman wants to go, but I'm sure Frans Erasmus will call for Luke Smith. He's kicked a goal from this distance already, and 17-9 would look a lot better than 17-6, wouldn't it, going into half-time?
Just a couple of metres bigger than the first kick. But look, you can see the sun is out. The clouds that we've had in the Transvaal have disappeared. Nice kicking conditions, and both kickers have been outstanding today. Gavin Johnson hasn't missed one, and neither, I believe, is Luke Smith. In injury time.
Sometimes that little bit of give makes the kickers realise they've got to be smooth. And we've often seen good kicking from a wet surface. Oh, it's another big kick. This time just away to the left. Johnson thinks about running. And there's the half-time whistle. 17 points to 6, Transvaal ahead. It's been much closer than that, as Andy said. Certainly Eastern Province have shown why they've done so well this season in the Bankfin Currie Cup. And Transvaal, with their 17 points, have gone above 1,000 points for the season. 1,001 points they've scored this season, and that is incredible.
Second team to do it this season, of course, John, and we were at Kings Park when Natal passed the milestone.
Gee, he does look young, doesn't he? Cecil Duplessis making his debut, and he's done well. Made some very telling tackles.
Right, okay.
Again, Dirks has gone for too much length. And Luke Smith reels in some of the distance. And Luke Smith has done well, a natural fly half. He missed Johnson for that first try, but apart from that has done little wrong. And of course has kicked two beauties, two very good penalties for Eastern Province. Kubus Visa again takes cleanly. Rolling maul. And just look at those players on the left in front of the ball. Why are they not offside? Heinrich Rogers. They lost it though. But Kitch Christie will be annoyed about that. Ball retention. The one area he's worried about.
One thing you must not do in a rolling maul is get yourself isolated, which is what happened to Rogers there. The ball came loose. You don't really want to be passing the ball in a rolling maul. You want to be handing it from one man to the other.
And I wouldn't like to say what's been going on in that front row, but it certainly has been a keen contest. Back row move from Eastern Province. Pinnock. And they've retained it. Looking to move it now. The chip from Fulse. Hendricks sets in field. He's very dangerous from broken play. A switch. Now Transvaal have got men over. LaRue looks inside to Currie. Barley Swat. Poor old Barley Swat. He's not in the team to take passes like that. But the way Transvaal switched direction, they're very impressive. Maybe LaRue should have looked outside. Well, couldn't. People came inside. And there's Barley Swat, not really ready for that pass. Heeman's going to kick, I think. You can see him looking up, changes his mind. Fulse does the kicking. Ducks to Johnson. Nice handoff, Tina. Ducks. Coming in on their knees.
Ian McDonald again. He has transgressed a few times today. That will concern Kitch Christie. One thing you must not do in the Currie Cup final is give away kickable penalties.
In fairness, he is the fetcher. He is the man who plays a lot of his game mullocking after the ball. So I suppose inevitable, as with Val Bartman, he's going to be penalised more than most. So Luke Smith takes it up to the 22.
Must be a bit of breeze out there, John. We saw Luke Smith kicking from inside his own half in the first half. That was on halfway. He opted to kick for line.
I was out there earlier. It was gusting a little bit, but not too bad. I think perhaps he just didn't get the spiral on the kick. And the sun is out, as you can see, in the eyes of the thrower. Quite what they were looking for. Have it though. Touch. Now, there's a spectacle. The game really does need an Eastern Province try, doesn't it, to almost equalise things.
They just need a little bit of luck, I think. They've had plenty of ball.
And it's not a bad game. What a pity there's such a pathetic crowd here at Ellis Park. Free kick to Eastern Province. Watch for Darby Heeman to get things going quickly. Not this time, they're going to slow things down. Now, we've seen France Erasmus used as the big crasher. This, of course, they set up a wall. They'll pass the ball behind the wall. And anything can happen here. Well, they've recovered. Willie Mayer, quick thinking by the big prop. And makes it available. High ball, that's going to be difficult to defend against. And just a little bit too far. But like those kicks we see in rugby league quite often.
Was looking for one of the wings to run on to that and duck down. We saw James Small score a try like that in Australia. Annie LaRue doesn't look as if he's moving too freely to me.
It's a poor dropout. Heeman takes them on again, gets through these tackles. This man is brave. Verwoerd, Root. Heeman stands a little kick through. He's found Hendricks though. Hendricks is away. Held from behind. Support from MacDonald. Cuts inside Pinnock. Willie Schmidt is there. makes it available. Must be a try for Transvaal here if they can run in the overlap. It's Henny LaRue, loves the pass, they get the bounce, and it's a try for Dirks. A wonderful, wonderful counter-attacking try by Transvaal. And a nice little touch there between Chris Dirks and Marnie van Vuuren. And that is the sort of rugby we saw for Transvaal early in the season. Any chance, anywhere in the field, support in numbers, moving the ball, and this was wonderful rugby.
Backs and forwards in concert here. McDonald was the first man up with the ball carrier. Look how he stays on his feet and waits for support. Uli Schmidt on Heinrich Fulls there. You thought the ball might just go and get trapped there, but it didn't. It came out quickly, and that was where the try was scored, because there were so many people queuing up to score the try.
This was the danger moment, a fortunate bounce. And there goes Dirks. Lovely winger's dive. Magnificent try. And just watch the way Johnson drops that shoulder as he comes into. And over it goes. Wonderful, wonderful display of rugby from Gavin Johnson.
Hasn't put a foot wrong, Johnson. He's scored a try and he's kicked everything.
LaRue using his left foot. Oh, and that's a long kick. Nothing really on for Luke Smith other than the touch finder. I was going to say that Transvaal running away with it, but then I remembered the Natal game at Loftus from a similar situation. Northern's all but won it. Here's big striker Botha, the man who got in ahead of Adrie Geldenhuys. Got a bit quiet. He started the game in a very lively fashion. Visa beaten. Interfered with. Sheena. Thomas Visa. Important thing is look the way the ball is presented. Hilda to Currie. There's that rolling maul being set up, all very deliberate. Start again, and the Transvaal forwards not working hard enough to get behind Uli Schmidt. Yeah, that's interesting. Transvaal have been penalised. Obstruction. And Neville Halperen's a brave man, because most referees have not been calling that. Late tackle, Himan. And he's found Van Vuuren. Has he got the speed? Gavin Johnson counter-attacking. Hendricks. He's running out of support. Support, and it's a try. And the touch judge flag stays down. And that's a try from Tony Marco. Well, what a tremendous reply by Eastern Province, and certainly deserved that try on the evidence of what we've seen so far. Tony Marco.
Well, I think we can see from that he was just in touch and Marco was on hand to take the scoring pass. But that move was really set up on the other side with that marvellous run by Mani van Vuuren. Here's Potgieter taking on his man, just manages to get the pass away, and Marco over.
And a look of some surprise on Transvaal faces, but the TV evidence suggests a correct decision made. And just look at those empty stands, isn't that sad? Nice kick from Smith. Well, suddenly we have a game again, 24-13, and with modern scoring values, well, that's not really a lot.
Those empty seats, they can't really say that they're saving for the Currie Cup final because so few tickets are coming the way of Transvaal. So we've had 12 minutes of the second half. 24-13, the first try on the board for Eastern Province, 3 for Transvaal, and this could be a very exciting second half.
And Henny Leroux is going off, that's interesting, and I'm sure that's precautionary. We picked up a little bit earlier that he wasn't running too well, and that's going to be, I think Porter Hoffman is going to come on, a very promising youngster. Gavin Johnson will move to fly half, and Hoffman to the centre. I think it'll be a big reshuffle. Dirks looks like he's gone to full back. Hoffman runs straight into trouble. Rian Potgieter penalised. Roux starts it quickly. Ali Swart. Pina. Men over on the right, this is very dangerous. Currie, straight through. Can he get there? He can. So suddenly backline tries coming from all over the place. Bernard Currie scores his 7th try of the season. He was one of the unsung heroes in this Transvaal team. This was always on.
Take him off.
Now Hoffman really came a little bit early, one fancies. And from here it was just strength and determination from Bernard Currie.
I was speaking to Kitch Christie on Tuesday at training and saying that the backs hadn't really clicked for a few weeks. He said this is their last chance. We're going to make changes if they don't click this week. And I would say this is the best performance by the Transvaal backs that I've seen since mid-season.
Sometimes little things like this upset Easton his charge, but I suspect today Johnson is so in the groove it won't matter to him. Another lovely kick. Ooh, and there's somebody hurt, and that looks like Mani van Vuuren, I think. Replacement on. That's Andries Currie.
There's another chance to see this try. Bernard Currie, the strong man in the centre for Transvaal, really showing why. And look, that's where Mani van Vuuren picked up that injury. It was an elbow from his own teammate, from the new boy, I think, Cecil du Plessis. Let's see if we can see it again on this angle. Here's Van Vuuren coming in, and an elbow there from Cecil du Plessis, and that has put Mani van Vuuren out of the game. Completely accidental, and really a great shame because Van Vuuren has shown some great stuff.
31-13, 24 minutes to go. That's extraordinary. We've only seen one unsuccessful kick, and that missed by a whisker from 60 metres. after a series of rather poor games, we've seen a cracker last week and a very good game again today. And that's good for South African rugby. Fine kick from Smith. There we are, 31-16. Johnson restarts quickly. Mostert, ball and man. Rutt. Now you can see Pienaar has been penalised, but the referee is playing on. I'm sure he'll bring them back unless EP win quality ball here. Iman. Mostert tries the other side, throws a dummy. Support from Du Plessis, lovely pass and kick ahead by Miller, but it's gone forward. The referee is going to bring them back and give the penalty to Eastern Province. Now the crowd don't like it, but I think that's a good decision.
I'm not so sure, John. He played the advantage for so long that something had developed. We saw that hack ahead on the left wing. Something might have come of that, and really this penalty doesn't serve Eastern Province terribly well.
The crowd love it when he has a go. Bang! And again, look at the technique, the way he made it available. Chip from Hendricks, he's been tripped. And I think Hendrick forced the guilty man.
Great piece of acting from Heinrich Fools, because, well, in fact, I say a great piece of acting. I think that was pretty accidental.
There's some debate as to whether Transvaal would run the ball. Again, I'm sure Francois Pienaar is concerned that the less contact in the last 20 minutes of the game, the less chance of injury to a key player. I'm sure they'll be happy for Johnson to kick his goals. Just look at that, 5 from 5. And he hasn't really had an easy kick amongst them. This perhaps his easiest kick, straight in front, about 35 metres out.
Bet he duck hooks it.
Bet he doesn't.
You win again. Well, Gavin Johnson must be our leading contender, one would think, for the man of the match today. And could well be going to Argentina when the team is announced later on today.
Hoffman, replacement for the injured Henny LaRue, hasn't found touch. And EP running it back at them, that's nice to see. Long cast from Potgieter to try score a Marco. Currie drills it forward, and that's nice play from Eastern Province. And just compare their skills to the rather bumbling outfit we saw at the beginning of the season. They've really come on in leaps and bounds. Transvaal ruling the line out though. A lot due to that man. Cobus Wies has taken some clean takes at the front. This time it's Stratham. An enormous kick from Gavin Johnson. And his foot was in touch. Good decision by linesman.
Well, if looks could kill, Tony Marco has just levelled the linesman there. But I think we might see again that was definitely foot in touch.
Just watch the right foot here. Steps back, there you are. On the line is touch. So correct decision by the officials.
It's a fair cop.
It's a fair cop. Davy Himman might well look at the short side. He's caused a lot of problems here. Scrum's messy though. That cuts down his options. Now he's away.
Ja, wacht.
Willie Meyer has it. Franz Erasmus with him.
Er was niet 10 met die skoppie. Terug.
Uli Schmidt penalised. They're going to call in Luke Smith again.
Er was niet 10 niet.
And that's wise. There's still 18 minutes to go. They've got to take their points when the chances
Ja,
are
maar er was
presented.
niet 10 niet.
No need for panic stations yet.
Ballen.
I think one of the most difficult aspects of captaincy for Franz Erasmus today is getting the ball away from Davy Human.
That's it.
Every time the ball stops and they've got something to tap, Human's there, give me the ball, let me go.
But his ability to take knocks, to take on the big men is tremendous. I mean, one thinks of Joost van der Westhuizen, he's also lively. But I don't think the other scrum halves will do that. Most of them stay out of those contact situations. They breed them tough down Dispatchway. Luke Smith, who's kicked brilliantly today, and there's a lovely shot of his angle. Struck it beautifully again. That is a magnificent kick. Sometimes we're a bit blasé, we see so much wonderful kicking, but this exhibition today, well, I can't think of an exhibition as good for years and years and years. Both Luke Smith and Gavin Johnson kicking beautifully. Stroily beaten to it though. Here goes Hendricks. Schmidt. Bang! That was a heavy tackle from Heinrich Fulz, wasn't it? Drilled Uli Schmidt into touch. And a smile and a pat. That's nice to see.
A man who gives it and can take it. Glad to see it.
Making a thorough nuisance of himself. He's doing well. Mulder. It looks like it's been poached by EP. Heeman's cross.
Nee, was niet tackle. Was die eerste wat getackeld is.
Yapi Mulder.
I've actually seen too much of Yapi today. He's been content to link in the centre rather than doing those destructive straight runs that we're more used to.
Span.
EP have split their centres. The two sides on which to work. Rian Potgieter away to the left.
Kom. Zo. Okay.
Davy Human just having a little look over his shoulder. That's where Potgieter is.
That's it.
Back row move. Oops. Might be punished now. Ball's gone forward.
And Neville Heilbronn's taken a tumble and the crowd loves nothing better than that. See if we can see it here. Here's where the move broke down. Francois Pinard then lost the ball in the tackle. And just to the left of your picture, Neville Heilbronn took a tumble.
Crooked and spun. And that's what Stroily is good at. This is where Transvaal needed quickly, a little bit slow. Johan Roux was tied up somewhere. Mulder cuts through. There's that footwork you talked about. And Currie's going to score a second try. Bernard Currie just to the left of the post. It's try number 8 for the season. Try number 2 today for Bernard Currie. And it was a bit dithering at the beginning, wasn't it? But it's amazing how that often opens up defences. Look, Mulder here. Nice running. McDonald, little short pass. Pinnock wrong-footed. Well, it's good support play, but a little bit of a soft try. And an easy kick for Gavin Johnson.
Another look at that. This is where the pass to McDonald came in. He's always been there with the ball carrier today. Bernard Currie hasn't really scored that many tries this season, but 2 today and 5 amongst the Transvaal team in all.
Johnson's first mistake, and that's really a bad one. A bit of a fumble there, very close to his own line.
Wacht. Transvaal terug, is hij meer? Transvaal terug! Nee, is hij meer? Wat hem ook doen.
Just look at Darby Human, always looking. Might look at that short side. No, they're using the back row again with Martin Mostert standing off. Passes behind him. Miller. Pass goes to ground though, kicked ahead by Rue. Human down, recovers brilliantly. And that was textbook stuff, a difficult situation. Fell down, killed the ball and up on his feet. Well played, Darby Human.
Yeah,
you've mentioned his braveness. That was all about braveness there. Running backwards, didn't know how many thunderous hooves were behind him. Here he is, Johan Rue is the man on his shoulder. The ball he's hoping is going to bounce nicely into his hands. It doesn't, he falls on it, and then how quickly he got back up again. We said about Joost van der Westhuizen last week how well he does that.
Poor play by Transvaal, turned over possession. Rue looks, dare I say it, a tired player. He's had a long season, he's had an outstanding season. He's awake there to that back row move. 11 minutes to go, 41-19, Transvaal comfortably ahead. Lovely box kick from Rue. That's what he does so well. Just rolling them over the line. His forwards won't mind. They're going to gain a lot of ground.
Let's have a look at this ball going into the scrum. Look at this. This is virtually going into the second row. And it's spun as well. How on earth do you expect to strike against that?
Stradham can't take it. Lewis Visa supports well. That's an area that he plays very well. From the kickoffs. Here goes the rolling maul. Schmidt again. There's the dummy, takes the knock. And how often Heinrich Fulls has been in to tackle Uli Schmidt today. There's a little personal battle going there.
Well, Uli has sometimes been criticised for standing out and playing almost as a centre, so perhaps it's man-to-man marking.
They really have had something today. He knocks Miller out of the way, and here comes Fulls. All embracing tackle. 9 minutes to go, 41-19, Transvaal ahead. Still fighting. coming in from behind the back of the ruck. Iman into Mostert, good play. Nicol Meyer, Billy Meyer, all a bit isolated though. They've regrouped. Referee plays advantage. Iman can't hold it. He'll bring them back.
Well, I don't think that was 10 metres, do you?
Iman to Mostert. Isolated though, this is worrying. This is desperation stuff now.
Okay, julle kan doodkom. Transvaal bal.
And that really is the difference, isn't it? When Transvaal move that ball quickly, there are red and white jerseys in numbers. Not the same with Eastern Province.
And down. Hold it.
Well, this has been a fine performance by Transvaal, and it has been a lot more reminiscent of the Transvaal that we saw early season. Then they had moments of staleness, but they put together patches of total rugby, and that's what we've seen today. Look at that line-out count. Hannes Strydom and Cobus Wiese have been responsible for most of that, and I think Cobus Wiese, if he's not in the trip to Argentina, can count himself very unfortunate. Just talking of the Argentina one, Porter Hoffman coming on today was named after the great Hugo Porter, so perhaps it's nice that he should come on today of all days when the team to Argentina is being named.
And of course, Hugo Porter, the ambassador, the Argentine ambassador, might be listening. Stoily, the crowd love that. Climbing in by Transvaal, referee allows them away with it. Donald, support from Johnson, not afraid to mix it. Ooh, and Cobus Wiese throwing a punch at Billy Meyer. These guys could be in trouble. Penalised for retaliation. Iman, chip and chase. Gets the bounce, also gets Uli Schmidt.
Let's have a look and see what happens here. Cobus Wiese going in, supporting Gavin Johnson, but rather over-effusively, one would suggest. And there was the punch just off screen.
There's no cooler system in operation. Tommy Fils has taken the knock. But just look at Stroily drop the shoulder there, go straight through that tackle. And again, it's Tommy Fils making the tackle. He's had an outstanding game defensively. Double switch, Pienaar. This time he's isolated.
Come on! Okay. That's good. Is jou skuld dat jy alles aanheiddruk? Nee, I was niks aanheiddruk nie.
There's been quite a lot of chat between the referee and Pienaar today. Perhaps he's opened his mouth rather too often for my liking.
Back row move goes awry again. Bravery from Iman. Again, good play from him. Men over. Hendricks, no room to move. Again, look who made the tackle. Heinrich Fils, number 12, right at the bottom of that.
Okay.
4 minutes to go, 41-19 Transvaal ahead. In a few minutes we'll be picking our Grand Massau Man of the Match. We stress it's only a fun award. The two contenders, well, Gavin Johnson of Transvaal and Davy Human of Eastern Province.
Hold it.
We'll make our decision in a few minutes.
I'm on tenterhooks. Front row's collapsing there, and there's been a lot to tell about the front rows today. Not having been one myself, I couldn't tell you a lot, but I can tell you there's something going on there.
Hold up. Match gedraai.
The referee come over this side just to have a look. Ali Swart and Willie Mayer.
Quick. Okay.
Yeah, something's going on. With 3 minutes to go, let's hope it doesn't explode.
Quick.
And Miller clears well with his left foot.
The second half has really gone the way of Transvaal. They've got far more of the possession. Eastern Province were about 50-50 in the first half, but the scoreline reflects how the game has changed.
Can't hold it, hasn't gone forward. Pinnock. Tackled by Hendricks, well picked up by Pinnock. Keita will rather aimless kick. And it's going to trickle away over the line, onto the line. Back comes Dirks. He wants to run straight up the middle. Tremendous run by Chris Dirks. And he's got support from Pina, as ever. But they play the ball on the ground. What a wonderful run by Chris Dirks. Crowd don't like it. Miller. Support from Verwoerd Rood.
Nog on, ja, jullie slaat hem voor hem toe. Hou het, sta stil.
Stroily standing out to block the short side. False. It's a tantalizing kick. Just dribbles over to touch 5 meters from the line. Oh, now that's interesting. Greg Miller says the throw should have gone the other way. The linesman disagrees.
Well, only the slow motion will tell us this. I thought at the time that it was close, but well, perhaps we're not going to see.
And there's the final whistle. 41 points to 19. Transvaal complete the round robin stage. And we'll next see them in 2 weeks' time in the Currie Cup final. There's our man of the match, Grand Massau man of the match. It was a close run thing. Gavin Johnson, he scored a wonderful try, didn't miss a kick, and you really can't do better than that. But tribute